Thanks for joining us today on DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson, and we're going to have a great show. Dr. Chris Blevins has stopped by. He's a regular guest on the show. We're going to talk about equine obstetrics. Stay tuned and enjoy the show.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
This hog is Hanover hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
DocTalk, brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick. In Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Well, Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Folks, Dr. Chris Blevins, he's an assistant professor in the Department of Clinical Sciences here at Kansas State University, and he is the equine field service clinician at the Veterinary Health Center. And so just a little bit about what do you do at K-State?
So what I do on a regular basis is I take about 3 to 4 veterinary students with me, and we go out on farm calls. We go out on farm calls all day, and we see from the simplest things of vaccines to the most sophisticated, which could be, I guess, equine obstetrics or even dentals is a main one that we do too.
You bet. Well, I know that you provide a very valuable service not only for our students to have the opportunity to learn out in the field and get that hands-on experience, but you also serve a very valuable thing here for our clients and for the horse owners in Northeast Kansas, and we thank you for all that you do.
Well, I actually enjoy it. I actually tell the students I can't believe they pay me for an enjoyable job. So
well, that's good, and it shows. So we're going to talk about foaling, or talking about OB problems or obstetric problems with horses. And so, as we were talking before the show, a lot of people don't realize you start, it isn't like, well, she's showing, we better start worrying about it. We need to start planning way ahead.
Right. And I think that's one thing that especially horse owners that maybe are getting just into the mare and foaling aspect and what should be expected and when to start. And it really starts right when they get bred by the stallion and making sure that everything is going correctly, getting the veterinarian involved, having the veterinarian ultrasound that mare. Mares do not have foals that twin very well, so twinning type aspects are not something that the mare is usually made for. So having them ultrasounded at the beginning of those aspects, then a veterinarian can get involved with what needs to be done next. But just making sure everything is going in the proper way is something that mare owners need to make sure they're ready for prior to the foaling things. And one of the first things is making sure she's vaccinated and her immune system is ready to be transferred to that of the foal. And this is why I usually tell a lot of horse owners or mare owners they need to start vaccinating or to vaccinate their mares 30 to 45 days prior to foaling. So then it could get into the colostrum.
Gotcha. So when we go, let's back up just a little bit. When are we gonna, after post breeding, when are we gonna start ultrasounding for pregnancy? How early can we detect pregnancy?
So we can actually detect a pregnancy within 2 weeks.
My goodness.
Of actually them, being bred. So a lot of these aspects, 14-day preg checks with an ultrasound, we can pick up and decipher through what we kind of have going.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I figured if you're doing something like that, it's going to be one of those EPT type wands or something.
No, it's just regular ultrasound. The vesicle does grow fairly rapidly, and we can pick that up at 2 weeks.
I'll be dang. Well, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to continue talking about this preparing for foaling.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into the stuff that's closer up.
That sounds great.
Great. You're watching DocTalk. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
DocTalk, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson and Dr. Chris Blevins. We're from Kansas State University, where Dr. Blevins is an assistant professor in clinical sciences, and he is our equine field service clinician. And we're talking about, we just ultrasounded, we're pregnant, and then you say vaccinations, and you want those vaccinations 30 to 45 days prior to parturition.
Right. Right.
What do we need to vaccinate? I know that we, first of all, work with your local veterinarian.
Right.
And establish but what are some of the things that you recommend that are kind of routine all around the United States?
So your veterinarian will probably get you kind of up to what has she been vaccinated with before, because sometimes if she hasn't had or seen vaccine, she's even going to need a booster 1 month after that first vaccine you gave. So getting your veterinarian involved is going to be important in figuring out when you need to start vaccinating her, so then she'll be able to protect that foal. So some things that we vaccinate mares for, even while she's pregnant, is going to be West Nile. That would be one of them. Eastern and Western equine encephalomyelitis, that's another one. Tetanus, also rabies. That'll be another big one that you usually do. So those are kind of the core vaccines every horse in the United States should be vaccinated for. Then you can add other things like rhino and flu, which are just respiratory type of vaccines that we can also add to that regimen of things to protect them for. Then to protect so they don't lose a pregnancy. So there's a pneumabort K, which is a herpes virus vaccine that we give to the mare while she's pregnant too. 5, 7, and 9 months of gestation. So that's something else that people need to remember to try to prevent abortion based on even that vaccine.
So you're going to give that vaccine at 5, 7, 9 months gestation, 30 days or 45 days prior to parturition. That's when we're going to come in with the others that you mentioned.
Right.
And then is that an annual booster if she isn't bred next year, or is something that you kind of recommend we just come through and vaccinate our horses with those kind of general vaccine?
Yes, that's usually our general vaccine regimen, just annual vaccines with most of those.
But the big reason why you're doing that 30 to 45 days is colostrum for that foal, right?
Right, trying to increase that mare's immunity in her bloodstream, so then she'll put that into the colostrum or the milk, the first milking for that foal, so then the foal will be protected.
Right. Okay, so anything else prior to that, as far as that preparation?
So I think another thing that sometimes horse or mare owners forget about is where you're going to have that mare have a foal. And if you're going to move her, it's best to move her 30 to 45 days, again, prior to her foaling, so her own immune system can get ready for just that environment, so then it'll protect the foal for those. Even a lot of bacteria and stuff that's around that area, whether you're changing pasture or you're bringing her into a stall area, just having those areas ready, consult with your veterinarian what's the safest place to have her in, and just get ready for that time frame.
Yep. Environment, nutrition, vaccination, health, all of it is part of animal husbandry.
That's right.
Let's take a break. When we come back, let's start getting up closer and getting to that time that's exciting.
Sounds great.
Thanks for watching DocTalk. We'll be back after the break.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
The BQA Tip of the Day, sponsored by Beringer Engelheim Vetmedica Inc.
Hello folks, I'm Dr. Nels Lindberg with Animal Medical Center and Production Animal Consultation. Today's BQA Tip of the Day has to do with good quality cattle handling, low stress cattle handling, and good quality horsemanship. These are some new cattle here, and when we get new cattle in, we want to focus on several things. We want to focus on cattle acclimation and producing good cattle health. We often want to focus on the drugs and the shots that we can give to produce cattle health, but what we're doing here is more important than those things. We want to acclimate these cattle, spend time in the pen with these cattle each and every day, focusing on individuals, but also the pen as a whole, creating good, positive cattle movement using pressure and release techniques, also doing things like exercise with these cattle. We want to kick them out of the pen, we can take them down the alley, bring them back. We want to just give them something else to think about, stimulate a cough, stimulate positive health. That's our end goal. Thank you.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help? How can we help?
DocTalk, brought to you by
The Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson and Dr. Chris Blevins here at Kansas State University's College of Veterinary Medicine, where he's in the Veterinary Health Center as a equine field service clinician and also an assistant professor here at Kansas State University. And we're talking about parturition and obstetrics. So let's talk about the stages of starting with that 1 month out prior to birth.
So, I think that as the mare is preparing to foal, and now it's getting down to the business side of things and getting ready for that, what should you be seeing with the mare? And she will start developing her mammary glands, usually 30 days or a month prior to foaling. So she'll start developing that, and it'll vary on mares, whether it's their first foaling or she's had multiple foals, kind of when she'll start developing kind of that mammary tissue. And then, it gets closer, like 1 to 4 days prior to foaling, Then we hear waxing,
Yep.
and what that waxing is, similar to that of the cattle, you'll see with the horses is the colostrum that starts to crystallize on the ends of the teats of that mare, and that's what the waxing is. And so that's something else that owners need to be watching for, and making sure that that mare doesn't leak the colostrum. That's another crucial time frame, is when she starts developing and producing the colostrum. Make sure she doesn't leak it, because if she leaks it all out, it's not going to get into the foal. So making sure you watch for that too.
Yep, and I think that's important. I don't think people understand the importance for preventing neonatal scours and diarrhea, respiratory disease. That colostrum is so crucial. And if you miss that first milking and get to the second milking and the third milking, it just the quality just drops off so fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get up to the point in time, and now she's gonna have this foal. How do we kind of walk me through the stages of what's going on?
So when you have stages, there's stage 1, 2, and 3 of foaling. And so the first stage is actually her nesting behavior. She's starting to get uterine contractions. She's going to maybe show signs of mild colicky signs. So, she's uncomfortable. She's going to lay down. She's going to get up. She's going to look at her side. She just is ready for the potential for that foal to be coming out. And so if you start to see that, and it's time for that time frame, it might not be a colic, it could be just foaling, and so that's something that maybe you'll see during that stage 1 time frame. So stage 2 is usually the expulsion of the fetus. Everything happens quickly. So within 30 minutes, that foal should be born once they rupture their water out of that, the vulva. So within 30 minutes, the foal should come out. If it doesn't, have your veterinarian ready to come out. Everything happens quickly, and if you don't get that foal out quickly, it's very bad. It can be bad news. Then the last stage is expulsion of the placenta, and that is within 3 hours. So everything, 30 minutes, 3 hours, need to know what's going on, get it all happening, and have your veterinarian involved if you need them there quickly.
Good night. That's a little different. Us cow guys, we got a little more time.
It's not days. It's
you guys are on it. Well, I think that's important to know. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about these stages, things that you notice that are wrong, and maybe when to call that vet.
That sounds great.
Thanks for watching us. We'll be back after the message.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Hello, I'm Dr. Chris Blevins at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center, and the horse tip of the day is horses that choke. What is horse choking? That includes the aspect of saliva or food material that comes out of the mouth, but especially the nose or nostrils of the horse. So if you see saliva and feed material coming out of the nose of your horse, the horse could be choking. That is food material stuck in their esophagus or their throat latch. And what should you do? Take the horse's temperature. Make sure it doesn't have a fever. Keep it so it doesn't have extra food or water around. Take away food and water. Call your veterinarian. It's an urgency, but not an emergency. They'll get there when they can. Just let them kind of relax. Hopefully they don't aspirate or get pneumonia, because that could also be a complication of choke. But a veterinarian can come out and relieve that based on what they can do procedure-wise and passing the tube. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins, and that's the horse tip of the day.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We are having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Turn to a Central National Bank Ag Professional. You'll be in good company. They'll help you track expense lines, manage variable input costs, assess ground agreements, pick a crop protection plan. These times demand Ag Professionals. Central National Bank. You could profit from what they know. Ag operations run better on Central Time.
Central National Bank, money for life.
Member FDIC in your hometown since 1884.
This segment is brought to you by Tarwater Farm and Home. Come on by, we'll treat you like family.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. We're here with Dr. Chris Blevins from the Veterinary Health Center, where he is the equine field service clinician and he's an assistant professor at Kansas State's College of Veterinary Medicine. And Stage 1, water breaks, nesting. I guess the Stage 2 is when the water breaks and the expulsion.
Right.
But
right.
she starts nesting in Stage 1, Stage 2 water breaks, 30 minutes.
30 minutes and it should be out.
And then within 3 hours, Stage 3 of the placenta.
Right, right.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit. What are some signs that things maybe aren't, I mean, I know time is the first one, but what are some things that maybe things aren't going so good?
So I think even in Stage 1, that should be within a few hours. So once they start having those colicky signs and nesting signs, within 4 hours, we should be progressing to Stage 2. And if you don't start to see, the expulsion of the fluid of the placenta at that point, have your veterinarian check things out, see what's going on. In addition, once you're in Stage 2, you should be able to see, once the water breaks, you should see the 2 front feet of that foal. Everything should be presented where they have long legs, so you're going to see the feet first, and then the nose should be falling right after that. If things don't progress, every 5 to 15 minutes, you start seeing more and more of that fetus or that foal. You need to get your veterinarian there, or be able to help assist. You need to be careful though. Mares are very fragile, and so is the foal. So having your veterinarian involved is going to be important.
Yeah, and the other thing is, so are people. And you get around a mare that's having a foal, and she doesn't have all her wits about her. She's trying to get through it too, and right. Sometimes getting kicked or getting mashed. Mare coming down on you or something to that nature can be an issue as well.
That's right. You have to safety of yourself, initially, and then afterwards. A lot of people don't even see mares foal because it happens so quickly, and it's usually in the middle of the night. But yeah, if you're there, just be careful and know and how to have your veterinarian there too. And when we're talking about this progressing so fast, that's the reason why you say get your veterinarian involved early, especially if if it's a important foal or something to that nature, so that they're kind of on watch or understand that this is happening. And that's another thing. Some veterinary clinics will actually have veterinary or foaling stalls at their clinic, so they can actually watch and help with assisting it, so it's already there. So there's a lot of clinics and a lot of veterinarians that'll even have those aspects for them too.
Wow. Well, it's amazing to me, and with some of the technology we have, putting the camera out where you can check them and check mares is pretty cool.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of cool things you can use.
Well, thanks again. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. I appreciate all you do. You're a great colleague and friend, and thanks for everything.
Thank you very much for everything.
Folks, Dr. Chris Blevins from the Veterinary Health Center here at Kansas State University. If you have a horse question, call him. If you want to know more about what Dr. Blevins and I do here at Kansas State University, you can find us on the web at www.vet.ksu.edu. Remember, always work with your local practitioner. We appreciate you watching DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson here from the College of Veterinary Medicine at Kansas State University, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.